The woman suddenly took a watch out of the drain. She was a little surprised, because the watch belonged to her missing brother. A few minutes earlier, her boyfriend's younger brother Jack came to visit. Since her boyfriend John was not at home, Ellie did not want to entertain Jack. But to avoid upsetting him, Ellie still opened the door and invited Jack in. Then she found an excuse to hide in the bathroom. Ellie peeked through the crack of the door to see if Jack had left. But just as she opened the door, she saw Jack walking past the doorway holding a kitchen knife. Right after that, the sound of bones cracking came from upstairs. The strange sound made Ellie extremely uneasy. She quietly walked into the bedroom. She wanted to call John, but John's phone had been turned off the entire time. Ellie was terrified. She gathered her courage and went upstairs to check, but she found no one in the house. Yet she clearly had not heard any footsteps. So how did Jack disappear? Ellie was confused. At that moment, a strange sound suddenly came from the sink. Ellie was startled. She carefully walked over to check, but she found the drain constantly spitting things out. Driven by curiosity, Ellie reached her hand in to check. Soon she found Jack's watch. Ellie was puzzled. At that moment, a dark shadow flashed by. Ellie was frightened, but in the next second, the woman had disappeared. Only a box of cake remained on the dining table. Ellie had no time to think. She had to leave this eerie cabin. But just after she finished packing her luggage, John rushed back home. Ellie fearfully described the strange events that had just happened. To prove she wasn't lying, she even showed John the cake that had suddenly appeared. But John was extremely calm. He said the cake was given to them by the guardian. It had always been on the dining table. But when Ellie asked who the guardian was, John refused to answer. He told Ellie that everything that happened in the afternoon was merely a hallucination caused by stress. Under John's reassurance, Ellie gradually calmed down. To make Ellie feel safe staying here, John prepared a hearty dinner for her. Then he opened the box. He cut a slice of cake and handed it to Ellie. Lisa picked up a spoon and took a bite. To her surprise, the cake tasted very good. However, Ellie did not know that this cake was not something to be eaten casually. That night, Ellie was awakened by a strange sound. She thought a window had been left open, so she got up and searched around. But when she went downstairs, the sound vanished again. Ellie was very confused. Then she saw the cake on the table. The cake seemed to have a mysterious power. Ellie slowly walked toward the dining table. The next day, John left the cabin due to an urgent matter. Bored, Ellie began to enjoy the scenery around the cabin. At that moment, she suddenly thought she saw Jack staring in her direction. Confused, Ellie picked up the binoculars, but when she looked through them, she found no one inside Jack's house. Just when Ellie thought she had seen wrong, she suddenly noticed a pile of garbage at the entrance of Jack's house, and inside it was a human head. The head belonged to Jack's girlfriend. Ellie was terrified.